So hopefully there's nobody in line outside waiting to get in. So,
I don't think so.
all right, I'd like to welcome everybody to the October 28, 2014 Board of Adjustments meeting. I'm calling this meeting to order. Roll call of members. My name is Brad Walker, Chairman. I'm President. Mr. Jim Cecil.
Present.
Ms. Kathy Desideer, Vice Chairman.
Present.
Mr. Willie Robinson, not here. Mr. Mike Brew, not here. Mr. Aaron Lawyer, not here. Mr. Devin Graham.
Present.
All right, have a quorum. At this time, I'd like to open it up to public comment period. If you have anything for or against the Board of Adjustments, please come forward. If you're here for an agenda item, you can hold your public comment for that agenda item at that time that the agenda item comes up. If anybody wants to say anything for or against the Board of Adjustments, please come forward. All right, closing public comment period. All right, do I hear a motion to accept the minutes of the September 23rd, 2014 Board of Adjustment meeting?
So
What?
moved.
Second it.
Okay, got a motion by Ms. Kathy Desideer, second by Mr. Jim Cecil to approve as written. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Do I hear a motion to approve the acceptance of the written decisions for the September 23rd, 2014 Board of Adjustments meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All right, I have a motion by Ms. Kathy Desideer, second by Mr. Jim Cecil to approve the written decisions. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, going to our first public hearing, zoning review ID 2460.14 for lots 23, 24, 25, 27 of Cambry Place subdivision and Pinnacle Point Properties LLC. And I think at this time there was an omission of lot 26 that should be there. Are we adding it because it was not published or not, Lindsay?
We notified everyone.
Okay. All right. Anybody here to represent this agenda item? Come forward, please. State what you're trying to do and what's your hardship.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Patricia Cook and my husband Bertel Cook. And as in the packet, we have lots 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27 of Com Place subdivision that we're requesting 5-foot setbacks on the front and rear due to the hardship of the shapes of the properties that are existing. The way the property currently, the dimensions of the property, the way they currently are, and the setbacks that are in place, we would have trouble placing anything on these lots. So we're respectively asking that you grant us 5-foot front and rear setbacks. Also, the homes that are already on Sweetleaf, all of the other existing homes are already with a 5-foot front and rear setback. So we're just asking that you grant us permission to do what's already precedented on that street.
Do you folks have this drawing of what our intent would be?
Yeah, we have that. Have there been variances before, or the homes are just before zoning on that street?
Zones were there prior to, yes, sir.
Oh, I guess I did. Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
Hey, Lindsay, you want to swear him in? Sorry, we forgot.
Would you please raise your right hand?
Oh, okay.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Sweet.
Yes.
I do.
We just swear in the applicants.
Yeah.
So. Do I have any questions?
How flexible are you on the front setback?
We actually need the 5 in the front and 5 in the rear, and the reason being for that is to allow at least a 2-bedroom unit. We have been looking at, they're called Mississippi cottages, they're prefab homes or mobile homes. And to get a 2-bedroom in there, 70 foot would be pretty much, a 60-foot is almost impossible to find. I've been shopping and looking. I've gone to Mississippi several times. I've talked with our building department on they're also known as the little Katrina cottages. They're shotgun houses is what they are, that you move in and put in place. So to do what the plan is, we're not really that flexible because you still can't find something to fit in that area. 70 feet is what we need to put on the property.
Now, in front of that, there's still, it wouldn't be that we were 5 foot from the street, because there's still the
That's 10
ravine
feet.
out there, and then so it's,
It would be 15
How
on
it would actually be
Or-
a 15 feet from the street,
Okay.
yeah, so. And we maintain a fence across the back of the property. In our opinion, this is the best and the most attractive way to do it. We have, I think, the option to sacrifice and run something crossways and utilize 2 lots instead of trying to do it on one, but our thoughts are if that we did it this way, it was less obstructive, more green space, and a more organized look. So that's what our real goal is.
What's behind this property?
There's a subdivision that is behind us.
Okay. How far are the houses from the fence?
I don't know the exact distance, but it appears that they're 25, 30, maybe even more than that from that rear fence. And there are fences on, I think, about 3 or 4 of the lots, and we intend to fence the open area and put fences there.
Are there fences going up between these lots? Or
I
just
don't
along the
think
back?
so, no. If we did something, it would be more of a picket fence atmosphere or what have you.
But you said it's gonna be a fence on the backside of these,
Yeah, well, there's a fence that exists already that
and
I
it's
think
a
the
7-foot
homes end up-
fence?
No, I think there's 6 or so foot, 6 or 7 foot. The homeowners of that subdivision have already built those
Gotcha,
fences.
okay.
And we're gonna just fill in the blank on the one, I think there's one that
Gotcha.
does not have a fence. And we plan to fence that regardless.
So is the fence on the property line, or is it more
It's
on
in
their
their
property?
yard. It's, I think they set back a foot, and we
About a foot?
intend to set back a foot on our side and just kind of do a little injunction in between
Okay.
to partition it off.
Okay.
Maybe I misunderstood what I'm reading here, but you're continuing to maintain that fence?
Well, I can't cross and trespass on the other homeowners.
Well, that's
but
what I'm saying.
The one that I build, I will maintain, absolutely.
Okay, now what are you gonna build?
There's
A
some
fence.
Matching fence to what's the other homeowners behind us have already.
Okay,
there's some sections here that's missing. Only
Yeah,
certain
there's a
homeowners
section
do.
that is missing that we're gonna fill in on one of the lots.
I think what
Gotcha.
Mr. Cecil is referring to, in my, you're reading that off of our application that I had said we would maintain. That's actually before we went in and cleared a path to get back to the fence.
right.
I could see the fence from the subdivision side, but I could not, it was so thick with weeds and brush, debris. It wasn't until we cleared a walkway to get back to the fence, then we discovered that the fence was actually a foot off of our property into the neighboring property. So when I said we would maintain it, I was under the impression it was on the line, which it's not. I was also under the impression that the fence ran the entire length, and it runs, I think, 4.
So this this doesn't mean anything, right? You're not maintaining anything.
Well, not their fence, we will maintain our fence.
Yeah, the one
And
you
if they
built.
ever tear theirs down.
And you're
we'll
coming
build
1
ours.
foot off of the line too as well, right?
Yes, I think that allows you to be able to face your fence whichever direction
Right.
you want it, which
Okay.
doesn't matter to us where it's located.
Okay.
Real quick, there's a ditch back there though, huh? Isn't there,
There's one
No?
at the end that runs between
yeah, it goes back to
our
Tommy
property
Moore.
and the subdivision property as well, yes. But it doesn't run across the back.
I just remember
It
a
runs
ditch by Tommy Moore.
Perpendicular to Sweet Leaf.
We noticed the modads are in the back. Where are they running to?
Yes.
But we're gonna discharge to the front.
To the front
Whatever
road?
the DPW tells us
Right.
we have to do is what we're gonna do.
And the water well there's no water back there right now?
No,
or-
there's
No.
no city water. We're gonna put our own well in and then maintain the well as a part of our
Well, that's,
package. Which we've researched all of that and everything, so we have that in all.
And I'd also like to add that we are hands-on, we are a hands-on couple. We're not looking to just build something and leave it to the wayside. We're around every day. We maintain our things. All of our property has been maintained and upgraded. And we have cell phones on 24/7, so whether it's a neighbor's concern or
One of our tenants.
one of our tenants, we're always on call.
So they're going to be leased out. They're not going to be individually sold.
Not initially, no. We're planning to use them as, and we don't know that we're gonna do all this at one time anyway. We're just, moving forward as we can, so.
Okay. Any other questions?
no.
All right, have a seat. We're going to open up for public comment period.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If anybody has anything for or against this zoning review ID, please come forward, please. Sign in right here. Or wherever y'all have the sign-in sheet. Tell us what, for or against this variance, please.
Against.
Okay. Tell us
Good
why.
afternoon. My name's Barry Talion. This is my wife, Misty Talion. We live on the property behind this property.
Okay.
We have a few points we'd like to make. Going from the 20-foot variance now down to 5 foot, that seems a little outrageous to us. We could see given a couple feet here and there, but a 75% reduction in the current rule seems a little ridiculous in our eyes. Our next point we'd like to make is the impact on our property value. We feel that it will significantly decrease our property value. If there had been mobile homes there before, we most probably wouldn't have bought the property. And third, I'd like to bring up privacy issues or noise issues. If there was 5 families that close to our fence, we believe we would be inconvenienced quite a bit. And also, if there was a mobile home behind my 6-foot fence, their windows would be above that. And there would be, who knows what people, 6 or 7 feet away from my daughter's swing set and backyard. This is Matt, my neighbor. He would like to make a few comments too.
Mr. Roche. This is my wife, Trina. Trying not to repeat what he said, I have most of the same concerns. The main one being property value dropping. Also, I looked for my house for probably 6 months before I bought it. And the main reason I bought it was because of the privacy we have. At the end of a dead-end road, pond across the street, woods on both sides, and it seems like now we'll be neighbors, 5 feet directly behind my fence. I feel like if that happens, I'll probably, unfortunately, sell my house, and I don't really think it would be hard to find a buyer for a house that has properties directly behind it like this. And that's it. Yeah,
Okay.
that's all I
Is
have.
that your swimming pool that I'm looking at?
I'm sorry?
You got a swimming pool in your backyard?
Two houses down from that.
Okay.
Also, the third property, they're selling their house, so he couldn't be here tonight. He's in Mississippi right now, so I'm not even sure if he received his certified letter. And I spoke to the fourth homeowner down the street, and I'm not sure if she was aware or not, she was in her bathrobe. I couldn't get her to come tonight, but she also opposed it. She just didn't have enough time. We also concerned that we didn't get enough notice to prepare enough. We just found out about what was going on today. There's been nothing on the website, or all we got was a certified letter 10 or 11 days ago, but without any notification of what was actually going on.
Until about 5 o'clock, I didn't know exactly what was going on until BJ came over and showed me the drawings that y'all have. So I apologize for my not being prepared.
Fine.
Okay, does your house kind of do an L?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, that's
Okay.
our bathroom.
All right, and how far off the property line is that part
That
of your house?
bathroom right there is probably
How-
20 feet.
20 feet.
From the fence?
From the
Yes, ma'am.
fence.
Okay,
Our house is set up the same way. It's also a bathroom.
It's 1 foot fence, 1 foot off.
All right. Anyone else? Okay, have a seat. Anybody else want to speak for or against this variance? Please come forward. All right, closing public comment period. You have any questions, discussion? Do what?
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah,
get
you can come up, rebuttal. Yep.
If the decision would be based upon a fence or the privacy issue of someone looking over a fence, I wouldn't be opposed as to adding on or raising the fence even.
Well, what I'll say is there's already trailers in the neighborhood that we will be able to put at least 2 full-size trailers utilizing 2 lots with the current setbacks, and that will probably be the direction that we go. Our thought was that if we put them perpendicular to the street, it would be less showing towards the neighbors, so we were taking that into consideration. And it would limit the size of what we can put, where if we utilize 2 lots, we can put almost 100-foot trailer on there, and they will be looking at the back of that full-length trailer. So we were trying to be neighborhood friendly as well. As far as the noise levels, we appreciate that, and we try to make sure all our tenants are respectable. Otherwise, we don't want them in our properties anyway. So that has value as well, and I appreciate their thoughts on that. We're not trying to devalue the neighborhood. This subdivision, however, was, I think, developed in 1953, so it was there well before that subdivision they're living in was there. And there are trailers and homes in there already, and so we're not changing the outlook of what's going on our property. But I have appreciation for what they said, and our intent would be to be good neighbors. But we're gonna utilize our property to the parish's content. It's just, what do they wanna see? A smaller back or 2 long trailers? Either way it goes, we're gonna develop it, so I'll leave it at that. And I
Okay.
think I am within my code rights on that, am I not? I can utilize 2 lots and do my setbacks accordingly? Okay, thank you. Anything else? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right,
Um,
motions, questions,
Go ahead, shoot.
discussion?
I'm going to say that I'm willing to try to compromise and make the front and rear 10 foot each. My concerns, of course, on the front and on the rear is impact, especially on the rear, impact from water and rainfall.
Well, the front, they already have some
Yeah,
space in the front,
culvert.
one at 5 in the front and then 10 in the back as a compromise. Since
5
they
in
already
the
got
front
another
and 10 in
15, they got another 15
yeah.
feet to the road in the
Okay.
front
yeah,
already, so.
I can go with that, 5 in the front and 10 in the rear.
Front, 10 in the rear.
That's what I'm gonna make a motion, 5 in the front, 10 in the rear.
What about the fence? They volunteered on the fence.
Would you volunteer to put a fence across the rear?
A high fence.
Of the entire property or just?
Yeah, the entire length, so you have a fence.
With 5 and 5?
5 and 10.
Then that would mean we would only be able to get a 60-foot.
Yeah.
Have you thought about a double wide and do 4?
Well, we're still giving our variances on
Yeah.
our side sets.
Yeah.
So we were trying to stay within that variance
Yeah.
as well, so. we're
Yeah,
kinda-
the
and
problem
then-
is, you know, I think 5 is really close to the neighbors, and I think if you had a consistent fence, you could keep a consistent look to your subdivision, you know, developed area.
I'm not opposed to that.
Well, you earlier had volunteered.
Yeah, well, I
to
was
put a high
volunteering to close
fence.
any gaps that are there
Yeah.
anyway, so we,
Yeah.
that was part
So
of our
all you're
intent.
gonna do is just, we're gonna put it in a motion if this is what you wanna do.
Well, not only
Yeah.
that, but the
Put it in a
fence,
motion that you build a 10-foot fence.
not only that, but the fence is, your
Not-
requirement for your house is gonna be a lot higher than what probably them houses are existing
Yeah.
right now. If I'm not mistaken, I'm sure they're
Yeah.
a little higher with the flood elevation now.
Is what flood zone's that in?
To my knowledge, there is no flood.
Oh, it's
It's
not a
not flood
flood
zone?
zone? Okay,
And everything is running towards the canal that
Yeah.
runs along there anyway.
yeah, but
We
you're
have
gonna,
equipment, I can grade
set
all
the
that
trailers
to
up,
make
what?
it do whatever it needs to do. We don't want our property to devalue
Oh,
either,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
we're
Well,
not
I
looking to
understand,
come
yeah,
build
but
a-
you said, you also said your plans were to, well, you didn't actually say your plans were to sell after a particular time, but you said maybe down the road you might sell this property, is
Well,
that correct?
I'm an old man. I gotta look to it.
I'm just trying to protect them because
Yeah, right.
there's
no,
a bunch
no,
of
I
young
mean,
families
they're
back
talking
there that
about
they need
selling.
protecting.
We may wanna sell as
Yeah.
well. We don't wanna give up our rights either, but.
Yeah.
at the
Right,
same
and I
time,
understand, because
we
it is
want
your
a nice
property, you can do what
neighborhood
you want to
also.
with your property, as long as it's in compliance.
Sure.
And that's the
absolutely.
reason why you're here tonight, because you wouldn't be in compliance.
Well, we came to do it the correct
Okay,
way.
and that's what we're trying to negotiate with you right now, to build a bigger fence, make them happy, and that way you can be happy, and she's going to make a motion to give you the variance.
You want the motion with the fence?
5 in the front, 10 in the back, and 8-foot fence.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
gonna,
10
she
foot.
gonna
That's
calm me out of it.
2 foot.
Yeah.
That's 2 foot above their 6-foot
Right.
fence.
Okay,
So
we'll take
even
it.
if you raise the trailer off the ground 18 inches, 24 inches, there's not gonna be a window 6 foot up in the air. So
Yeah, I didn't buy into the
I
window
think you're
situation
gonna
anyway,
all be
you know.
having some space between each other.
Okay.
So,
Got a motion by Ms. Kathy Desadier.
65-foot trailer.
Motion by Ms. Kathy Desadier to approve a 5-foot front variance and a 10-foot back variance with a restriction of having an 8-foot fence put along the back of the property. Do I hear a second?
got a second.
All right. Do I hear all in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes with stipulations.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Next zoning review ID is 2461.14 for track Y-1-A for Ascension Properties for Chris Ingram located on the east end of extension of River Highlands Drive. Somebody here to represent?
Yes.
Okay, swear him in.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Will you please
Swear
raise
you
your
in.
right hand? You promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
It's been the same thing.
All right, tell us what you're trying to do.
We have an existing building that was built 9 or 10 years ago, formerly Sarita's Restaurant, which is now shut down due to the boundary line being moved by the court. I think you have a document there in front of you, where Ascension Properties requested just to move the boundary line back to where it originally was, because we went back and forth with the landowners adjacent to us for years trying to resolve a lot of different things for 6 or 7 years, and that did not happen. So we just said, put it back where it was at, and we'll cut a portion of the building off. At the time that building was built, there was a 3-foot side setback. Today it's more than that. The problem is if you cut any more off the building, there'll be no building left. So it would be totally non-usable on that side. It's now 15 feet wide when it was 24 feet wide. So I'm asking for a variance. It's 3 foot 4 inches off the property line now. It is 63 feet from the edge of that building to the existing condo lot 10. It's 63 feet if you measure it. So I'm asking for a variance.
And what I'm reading states that when the building was built, the side yard setback was 5 feet.
I was told 3 feet by Mr. Laverne Bourgeois. Maybe I'm wrong.
Who built the building?
Swanson General Contractors.
And who owns the building now? The condos?
Ascension, no. Ascension Properties owns the building, the 3-story and the 2-story building. The building that is, from day one, it legally was a condo unit. The whole entire building is condos 3 through 12. And those 2 buildings there is, I think, unit 3 and 7. It's a 2-story, one at the top, one at the bottom. And it's 15 feet wide at present. And you have to have a set of stairs go up to get to the top. So if you take 4 feet out of that, you don't have but 11 feet left. So you really don't have, can't make any smaller. It won't be a building.
So are we talking about on the map? I mean, we barely got a map here because I can't hardly even see it, but,
No.
are we talking about the building on the slab? That's located, it says building on a slab. And then I
Yes.
see 2 10s, and when you say 10s, I don't know which one we're talking about. On the, well.
Got a
maybe
bigger
that's
map right here, I think.
Never mind, One's a 10, one's a
The
19.
1, 19,
Brad.
and 10, and 9.
Brad,
Building 10
she's
is
gonna hand you a
existing on
map.
the river side.
but also there's an insert on the bottom of it, insert
Look
A.
Look down at the bottom, insert A. We
What
blew
is
it up.
the square feet of this building?
The whole entire condo.
Uh-huh.
It is 15 by 40 at the bottom, 15 by 40 at the top on that side of the building. Individual condo unit.
So you said this used to be a restaurant?
It used to be Sarita's Restaurant.
So we're trying to go, like, right now, the buildings constructed are 1 through 16, and the building on the slab. Or
1
is-
through 16 is constructed now.
Okay, so you're trying to
When
build.
we had to move the boundary line, the court gave me back
Oh,
about
just
17, 18, and
don't know.
19.
Boundary line, that's it.
It basically got rid of the parking lot because we couldn't come up with an agreement on the boundary line. We tried for years to come
That's
up with an
what he's
agreement, we just couldn't. So
What's the current usage of this building?
90 days ago, it was a restaurant. There's no use to it now, it's shut down until this is resolved. But it will become a condo.
So
The
what you're trying
restaurant's
to
gone.
do.
It will not be a restaurant any longer.
And is there any anticipation of building anything else on this track?
No, not at all. There's no more room to build anything. There's barely enough parking now that the 17, 18, 19 used to be a parking lot for 10 years. A year ago, I guess, give or take whatever that document states in front of you, we went to court and we asked the judges to put it back because we could not resolve anything with the neighbors. So
Right.
we just put it back and the judge gave me 17, 18, and 19 lots back where I can build 3 more condos, buildings. So lot 19 would be 53 feet if it was built. It's 53 feet from the edge of the building to that building. The existing condo 10 is 63 feet to the edge of the building.
Well, something isn't adding up right.
Okay, what is that?
Because on 10, it shows it's 25 foot from this property line, and then the building is 3.4 foot off the property line. So that's
Yeah, but-
28.4.
No, sideline's 3.4, but if you go out there and measure what's really there, it's 63 feet to the corner of the building. It was measured this morning.
Okay, if you're measuring it,
Diagonally from the corner of lot 10. You want me to come show you?
I understand what you're doing, but I'm looking at the property line.
Basically, what happens is you're gonna put the variance here so that we can clear this line up.
Yeah.
Here to here is 63 feet.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to clear this one line up, that's it. No more, no less.
Okay, this is the old property line like
Yes, sir.
this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're trying to get it to where it goes like this,
Yes, sir.
right here?
Yes, sir.
And what's in front of that building right now?
Nothing but
This,
grass.
right here.
This is the parking lot here, and all grass here to the river. This is the main river. So nothing can be built here. It's
I mean, what are you gonna do with that building, just out of
gonna be
curiosity?
a condo building.
Just like the other ones, like just not like these.
Well, there's condos in this building already on the second, third floor.
Uh-huh.
There's already 6 or 7 more condos upstairs on the second, third floor. So this building right here, if you know on the restaurant, it's gonna become another condo at the bottom.
Okay.
And the same exact condo at the top, because it's too narrow to have 2, I lost one.
There's no
Right.
fence that's gonna be right here, correct?
Yes, there is a fence.
There is a fence right there?
Yeah, it's not 100% finished till we get this resolved tonight, but the fence is here and here. It's still gotta come this way, there's a fence right here, that's the right
What you do
there.
is clear it up.
So we still gotta put in 75 or 80
So
foot
this
fence.
condo association different from this condo
Yes, sir.
association, is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. This is Riverfront Condo Association,
Okay,
this is River Highlands Estate Condo Association,
okay,
2 different associations.
okay.
But the line's been right here in this dotted line for 10 years, 9 to 10 years. So,
Okay.
so we couldn't agree to leave it and shut the restaurant down. So,
Okay.
so the judge said, put it here, cut the building off, that's what I did. In this little section you see right here, it used to be this big, 24 feet, where the other side of the building's at, it used to match the other side, but now.
So why didn't they leave this section right here and then come straight down? right
Couldn't
here?
get them to agree to do it. The same people that's fixing to get up here after me.
Okay.
Judge, we couldn't get him to do it anyway, so we just put it back like it was.
Did y'all see that? I'm saying this is the security.
it went on
corner
for
here to the corner
6 or
here.
7 years. It
This
wasn't no
building would be
6-week
the
deal.
Same thing from this corner here to here. We're trying to clear up this line. The judge drew it like this. This is the old property line. This is the new property line. This is the variance that we have to approve for this line to be here, this close to this building right here.
Yeah, he's already gonna build condos in there, so. He's already got 3 condos at top, right?
Yeah, I mean, they turned
There
that building into
was
condos.
3
yeah.
before the restaurant,
Yeah.
and then it went to being a restaurant.
No,
and
no,
now-
there wasn't 3 there. There was been a parking lot on that dotted line.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
For
I
t-
thought you
for 10
said
years.
that in the beginning, there were 3 condos, and you
Yeah.
lost 1, and now you're gonna have 2.
He's talking about,
No, that's on the existing restaurant building I'm talking about
Yeah,
there.
that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
You told us a few minutes ago that there were 3 in that building.
They used to have on the map, like 17, 18, 19, used to be 3 lots. We
Okay.
deleted it out. We took it out of the condo regime years ago. It's a very long story, but we did it, and none of the people that's here tonight was the owner at the time we done that. I own about 90% of that condo regime when we made the change. What really happened is, we had minutes of a meeting, and the meeting never got recorded. So 10 years later, we still arguing about that. So instead of arguing, the judge said, we said, put it back. So he court ordered to put it back.
Okay.
okay.
But you're right, I lost 1 condo in that restaurant. There was 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom. Since we had to cut the building off, we lost 1. So now those 2, 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom, will become 1. Because it's not wide enough to make it 2. There's not enough room to put a bathroom and stairs to go up to get to it.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? All right, have a seat. We're gonna open up public comment period. If anybody has anything for or against this variance, please come forward, sign in. Tell us your name and whether you're for or against it and why.
Jerome Loman,
Okay?
I'm against, and I have some copies if I may. I live at 746 High Lake Drive in Baton Rouge, but I own Unit 16B of the River Highlands Condominium Association. I'm also the president of the association. And I guess I'd first like to start with, you can see on the paper that I gave you, Ascension Parish developed this zoning, and the intent was to protect, property rights, increase the property values. If you look at the picture right behind here, you'll see a picture from River Rat Rob's picture. It says it looks lovely, okay? That's what's gonna be next to our $200,000 condominiums that we have out there. That's a real lovely, valuable thing. Second thing that I'd like to bring up is that the requirements of the application, Ascension Properties is not the owner, as Mr. Ingram said. It's a condominium association, so on the application, the next page is our, where the district court, where we're going with the riverfront condominiums. So riverfront condominiums are actually the owners of the property, because it's a condominium regime. Ascension Properties own probably 90% of it, but again, they're the owners of the inside, not the building or the land, because that's, again, a condominium. If you look at the second page, this is the original document that was filed by the River Highlands on the diversion canal. The next page after that is the original document showing what the subdivision was. That's the same as the, I've got the official map in the back. I've attached that also, that shows what the original subdivision plat that was filed with both condominium associations, okay? If you go one page further, you'll see where there was an amendment to the declaration of the riverfront condominiums, where they then turned it into the new condominium regime, where there was another subdivision map that said that it was a rezoning between adjoining property owners. Well, the River Highland Condominiums Association would have had to have 100% of the owners and the mortgage companies in order to sell any of its land. So there was never an agreement, because you'd never, just like my title attorney told me, you'll never get 100% of all the people to agree to it. If you look a little bit further in the package, you'll see a 404 permit. It'll show that the original building, the restaurant, was supposed to be 25 feet from the property line. They knew exactly where the property line was when the building was built, okay? If you look at the next map, that's actually a plat of the whole place, and again, 25 feet from the restaurant. So, they've always known where the restaurant was supposed to be. Unfortunately, it wasn't built in that place. There's also a survey in there from Earls and Associates that clearly depicts where the property line was, and the last picture that's in there shows that right now the slab is only 2 feet from the property line, not everything where the saw cut is. Thank you.
Okay.
Good evening. My name is Joel Smith. I rise in objection to the request as well. I understand a judgment was provided to support the application request, but I still don't understand the hardship involved. There's plenty of room to move the building more, I guess maybe reconstruct it.
Not where the judge says put the line at.
Well, I'll get to that in just, I'm gonna get to that in just a second.
Okay.
Please don't take that from my time. The permit application states that the hardship must be cited to be considered. Number two, my second point, there's another agreement in place that came after that judgment that was not disclosed in this application. This agreement was entered into by Ascension Properties with its council present and as signatories, and us, RHECA, with its council present and signatories on August 11th, 2014. We have provided a copy of that for you guys. I dropped it off, I believe, yesterday, and I have a timestamp where we delivered it. What had happened was a demolition permit was issued, and we felt like that Ascension Properties had gone outside of the scope of that demolition permit, and we filed suit to stop those actions. We requested an injunction, went to court, and the resulting agreement that we settled the injunction request with requires Ascension Properties to remove all encroachments off of our property, according to all federal, state, and local law. Doesn't say anything about variances from those laws, lest we would have never have settled that suit if it had been. We just would have gone ahead and went to trial. Like as I said, we delivered a copy to the Planning Commission yesterday. Third, the request for variance came only after we requested that our attorney write to the Planning Commission that the building in question was being reconstructed, possibly within the setback line and from everything we could determine without a site plan and a permit. The Planning Commission did its due diligence and stopped the work, and here we are today. And we're concerned also about the precedent that could be set, as there are several other structures that have to be moved as well, encroachments, if you will. And again, the original placements of these structures was not an inadvertent error. Ascension Properties was a developer of both pieces of property, and it should have known, or it knew or should have known where the building structure should be. This has been an 8-year battle, but finally we have the confirmation, not a moving of the line, but the confirmation from the court that the property line is what Ascension Properties originally conveyed in 2004, not where all the resub maps that were presented to the commission over the years would have it be. The necessary consent for those resubs never existed. So I rise in opposition to it. I feel like there's an agreement in place, a settlement to settle a lawsuit, and I feel like they ought to have to abide by it. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Closing public comment period.
Where do I start with all of that? Number one is 3 foot 4 inches off. You got a certified map stating that by a certified engineer. It's not 2 feet. It's 3 foot 4 inches. Yes, we did sign an agreement, and I simply cannot do the rest of the work until this is resolved. There is a water tank that has to be moved. There is a little wood building that has to be moved. We got an agreement with the judge, with them, side agreement, stating that I'm going to move that, have 5 days to move that. At the point in time, I can move that. I cannot move that at this time because there's no fire marshal approval. I cannot move that until this building's back in shape the way it needs to be, because people live in the building. So I cannot move the fire system and have people unprotected for fire that lives in this existing building today. So all of that is still going to be done just according to our agreement, but this is step one. This has to happen first. As far as the property line and knowing where the building was at, I own both sides. I own the entire section, actually from Highway 22 all the way down the entire River Highlands Drive, all the way to the Pit Mid. So we was moving property lines. We built the building, the restaurant, and these condos basically roughly at the same time. So unfortunately, when this was started, I was supposed to be the contractor because I'm a general contractor. But I got sick and was in bed for 92 days. So I hired Mr. Glenn Decato and Greg Swanson to go and build this building. This line was moved back and forth, trying to decide how big to make one side of the fence or the other. To make it clear, at the time that I made the decision, none of these people lived there. They didn't own the condo. The decision was made to move that line over, and I had a meeting, which I didn't have to have the meeting with the association because I was 95% owner at the time. At the time, there was 4 owners in the whole complex out of 32. When the decision was made to take out lots 17, 18, and 19 to make it a parking lot for the restaurant. So that's why I never could understand why we couldn't get agreement with these people. Tried, spent lots of dollars, they did, I did, to try to resolve it. It just simply couldn't be resolved. So I asked the court, as you can see, just to put it back. So
Okay.
the real deal here is, there's nothing left to the building but 15 foot 8 inches wide, and you really can't go any wider that you won't have a building. So
Someone lives in this?
that's, I took that down, the picture you see there is what I
Does
started
someone live in it?
on the other end, not that side, no.
Okay. And the reason the water tank has to be moved is because you're wanting to put condos on
Well, that
17,
ain't-
18,
I moved
19.
it because they kept fighting for the boundary to put it back like it was. So it's being moved because they wanted it moved. I would have left it like it was and had a restaurant, it'd still be viable. But that's what they wanted for years, and I tried to keep it as is. So only somebody lives on the far end of that, on the 3rd floor, way away, 150 feet, 125 feet away from there. What you see there in the picture is us taking the building apart. We cut that off 8 feet right there that you see.
Yeah.
It used to be 8 feet longer. I cut it off to get 3 foot 4 inches past the boundary line.
So the boundary line's gonna be 3 foot from here,
Yes, sir, 3 foot 4 inches, exactly, from that wall.
3
Yeah.
foot from this wall right here.
Which is, you see that other condo in that picture?
Yeah.
Way far back? Is 63 feet from that building. That is the
From
closest
here?
building right there to there, which is 63 feet away. Correct.
Okay.
So nobody can live in that, because it's totally renovated, remodeled. There's nothing there right now.
So it's not gonna be any windows or anything, cause it's gonna be 3 feet from the
That's right.
side.
It was no windows on that side at all. No doors, no windows, because it's on a zero, on that side of the property.
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Okay, thank you. All right, do I hear a motion to accept, deny?
I make a motion to deny this variance. It was clearly under Mr. Ingram's development and control. I don't see that this building is something we really need to try to salvage, so.
I second that motion.
All right. I have a motion by Ms. Kathy Desideer, second by Ms. Jim Cecil, to deny the variances requested. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion was denied. All right, next zoning review ID 2462.14 for Franklin R. Okay, Petruzzello. I know I'm-
Petruzzello.
Petruzzello. Okay, located on northwest corner of Airline Highway, US 61 and Duplessis Road. All right, get sworn in for me.
Raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, tell us what you're trying to do and why you need a variance.
Okay, good evening. My name is Frank Petruzzello. I'm the president of Skilkin. We're a retail development company in Columbus, Ohio, and we are pleased to be proposing a new grocery store and fuel station in Ascension Parish at Duplessis and Airline. And what we have before us this evening is a request for a reduction in the parking requirement for the project. We are concerned that we don't need as much parking as is required in the code. Our client has many stores of this type and has been very satisfied with the number or even less than what has been proposed. We are concerned about building spaces that will not be used and will take up green space and will make the soil impervious to rainwater. So we feel environmentally it is better also to lower the number of parking spaces. Also, I think we have before you a request to vary from the interconnectivity requirement in the code. To the north of us, we have a very large drainage servitude that would be very difficult to cross to provide the interconnectivity that is required in the code. I believe those are the two items before you this evening.
Okay. And you said it's a grocery store?
Yes, sir.
So there's a grocery store across the street from this, correct?
Correct.
And you're putting in turn lanes to get in and out of the store.
Oh, yes,
easier.
we're in, we're in quite a bit of conversation with DOTD on the matter, and I'm sure there will be further iterations of
Okay.
what you see before you. We're just trying to knock down various items as we move forward.
How many parking spots do you currently have on the map?
Well, we currently show, I believe, 168 spaces, which represents 4 cars per 1,000 or 1 car per 250 square feet. That's a 20% reduction in the code requirement of 5 cars per 1,000 or 200 per, or 1 per 200 square feet, excuse me.
On the north side of the property. Is that
I'm
like
sorry, sir?
on the north side of the building?
Yes, sir.
Is that like a little drive-through? I mean, you can't. What is that? You can't do parking spots.
On the
there?
north side of the building, that is a pharmacy
Pharmacy.
pickup window.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't want to reduce parking if it hurt our business. We're very comfortable with the number we propose.
Can it be done without the reduction in parking?
I think it would be quite difficult, given the floodplain mitigation necessary and the detention area necessary.
I just find it interesting the one across the street didn't request the variance, and I'm trying to figure out why this one's requesting a variance and the other one didn't.
The one across the street is part of a larger shopping center, and generally, and I develop shopping centers. Generally, in shopping centers, there's many mixed uses in centers, including restaurants. Restaurants are a much higher load on the parking, so by using the 5 cars per 1,000 ratio for the entire property, it allows for some heavier uses to be included in the shopping center. This is a single-tenant project that does not have that risk of heavy parking usage.
Plus, he's got a drainage on the front and on the side.
Well, you got the
It's gotta have the drainage, because it floods over there.
Sure.
Along that drainage servitude to the big ditch that goes right there. And that's why you're trying to eliminate the connectivity.
Yes, we're concerned that there will be, it'll be too disruptive to the ditch and difficult.
Or too expensive to build a bridge over it.
I would say so.
Plus, that's a lay-down yard.
That's Cajun. It's fenced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that for sure.
try to go through that at all.
Well, until Cajun sells that piece of property and
No, yeah.
turn it to something else.
mad dog disease.
You should went to the doctor.
Okay. Anybody got any questions? Devin, question?
The gas station area, I mean, it's good? It's just a little drop unit or something?
I'm sorry?
The gas station, is it, I just see like maybe some room up there, maybe if you needed more parking.
Right, the gas station, no, I mean, that's what he's requesting to put there. I mean, it's a permitted use and it's allowed.
Yeah.
So, yes, sir.
I just didn't know if you can squeeze another few spaces. I don't know, I just,
Okay. That's it. All right, have a seat. We'll open public comment period. Anybody for or against this variance, please come forward. I don't see anybody come forward, so
Everybody.
everybody's done left now. Closing public comment period. Do I hear motion, discussion?
I'm going to move that we accept as written. I don't think connecting to Cajun's lay-down yard would be a good idea. And I think if 168 parking spots for a smaller grocery store, I don't think the 42 parking spots he's given up is going to have a huge impact.
Okay, do I hear a second?
yeah, I'll second it, I agree.
Let Devin have one tonight. Huh? All right, got a motion by Ms. Kathy Desideer, second by Mr. Devin. All to approve as written. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Do I hear any old business?
No.
Any new business?
No.
There a motion to adjourn?
You got a motion to adjourn?
I'll second that.
All right. Motion by Mr. Jim Cecil, second by Mr. Devin about adjourning. All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.